Hey guys, I'm going to talk about a few things today, and I think you should really listen because I'm feeling wise. Well, I'm not feeling wise, but I feel like I've been installed with a lot of knowledge, and I'm going to try and put that on you, see what you think, and see if you can take something away from this video. And I'm going to start off with my dad. My dad, I love him to bits. Was he the wisest type? Probably not. He wasn't really intelligent, but he did try. He had a massive heart, and everyone has their flaws and their ups and downs and whatnot. But my dad had a heart, and that's for sure. And that's not to say that my dad didn't have things that were wise that he would talk about, and he was actually smart in some ways. He was probably just slow, a little bit like me. Anyway, so the lesson, I've talked about this before, but I will talk about it probably for the rest of my life because it means a lot. We were in the car and we were heading to his. And whilst I remember the exact spot. And we'd come out to this road and we're waiting in some traffic. And it's just me and him in the car, and he says, "Cam, I have cancer." And I start crying, but I'm trying to hold it in. My dad rarely saw me cry, ever. And that's not because my dad was some big macho man, no man cries. No, he was near completely opposite, quite honestly. So when he asked me why am I crying, I was a little surprised. But I told him, "You have cancer." He said, "Yeah, I can, but if you cry, you sit there, you cry, and you go into your own little world, and I don't die, then you've cried for no reason. And if you sit there and you cry and you go into your own little world, and I do die, then you've wasted your time crying that you could have been spending with me." To this day, it is the best piece of advice I've ever been given. In short, what he's saying is, if you worry about something and it doesn't happen, then you've worried for no reason. If you worry and it does happen, then you've double bubbled yourself. Always be prepared, but never worried. I understand for me, because my dad has died since then, that story and that rule of thumb or lesson I've been taught weighs a lot more on me, and that I try to follow it a lot more than anyone else, because to other people it's a story, to me it's a life experience. So I tell that story quite a lot. I understand that it's very hard for people to just not worry. I still worry. I try to catch myself and I try to sort it out, but I still worry. Now there's two people that I want to talk about, two videos basically. And one is from Sadhguru. I think it's a gentleman, he's about 68, and he talks about loads of things, and a lot of it's good, a lot of it's some good stuff. As most people, you got some good and you got some bad. Take the good, maybe leave the bad. Maybe you'll take the bad sometimes and you'll realise later that you need to give it back. But for what he just said, I watched a video and he basically says, everyone is bad. Everyone has something bad. You're never going to find a perfect person, right? Whether it's a friend, whether it's a partner, whether it's your kid, whatever. You're never going to find the perfect person. So everyone will hurt you. Everyone will upset you. And then he goes to say that if mentally the only person who can hurt you is you. And I thought, well, what are you talking about? But I get it. And it's basically him saying that if you can control your mind, yeah? And a lot of times it's very, very hard. But you can control your mind, especially to a certain degree where people can't hurt you. Now, a lot of people do this, but in a very unhealthy way, right? We block out, we suppress, we go numb, we stare off into the distance, and we disassociate from this world. But there is a point, for me, and I know he's seen it in a different way, but for me, you can, to a certain degree, build your mind up where most people can't hurt you, or for the bare minimum of being able to control the pain when it comes in. I don't know if I necessarily agree on it fully, but again, he's 68. I'm 24. What do I know, right? That's my opinions on it as of this day. It's important to understand what he's saying, especially at the bare minimum, because I do think that a lot of people allow other people to control their emotions. They allow their anger to come out, their sadness, even their happiness and love, right? It's caused by other people. But you can control what your mind does and how it feels. But it takes a very long time and it is very hard. The last thing is something Jimmy Carr said, which is kind of surprising because up until probably like a year or two now, I think a lot of people saw Jimmy Carr as just a funny man, just jokes. But I think actually he's got a lot of wisdom. I've met Jimmy Carr once, and it was a very short conversation. Honestly, I was kind of taken back. It just surprised me. I'm normally quite a good read on people. I normally get the gist of who someone is very quickly. And so I was very surprised when I thought I'd be presented with a clown, but actually I was presented with a person that was actually fairly wise. Anyway, what he says is problems are not a bug, they're a feature. And that when something is demanding your attention, a problem, all you need to do is give it attention. It's a sign. When you are worried about something, you should now focus on that thing. And when I heard this, I was like, yeah, like that is very good. If you have a problem in your life, you're worried about something, it's time that you focus on it. That is telling you that you're not focusing on it enough. You're not resolving it. That's the time that you need to switch up and angle your way at the worry that you have. And I thought that was amazing because a little like my dad, he's kind of saying be prepared, fix it, don't worry about it. You need to just switch over, focus on it, and it will resolve itself as long as you focus on it, which I think is amazing. All these lessons that you learn in life, you're gonna make mistakes your whole life. You're gonna make them, and that's okay. But you really need to learn from them. Once you make a mistake, it's a bitter pill to swallow, but if you make the same mistake twice, that's not a mistake anymore. It's a choice. Yes, it is something that you probably didn't want to do, but you did it. And that's no longer a mistake, it's a choice. And you need to understand that. You need to get that into you. Because most people around you love you. The people around you love you. And they will try and soften the blow as much as possible. They will say, it's alright, it's because of this, it's because of that, you did this, and it's okay, you'll do better next time. The reality is, man, if you are messing up right now, and you carry on doing that same thing, that's no longer a mistake, man. That's no longer a mistake, it's your choice. That's the choice you're making, and that's okay. That's okay. That doesn't mean you sit there and you wallow in self-pity and go, I'm terrible for this. I've really messed up. Do that for a little bit. Have a little cry. But after that, you need to get up. And you really need to sit there and think, okay, why did I make this choice? Own up to it. Own up to the choice you make. Ask yourself, why did you make that choice? And now how are we going to fix it? How are we not going to do it again? And you need to put into place. And most of all, you need to put everything into action. Because if you don't put anything into action, in a month, 2, a year, 4 years from now, you're just going to end up in the same place making the exact same choice. You need to make a plan and stick to it. Not just for you, but for people around you. The people around you, man. And you know, I've said this before to one or two people, and it's maybe it's a controversial take, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say it, and if it's for you, you take it. If it's not for you, tell me to do one. Again, there's good and bad of what people say. You can take whatever you think it is. I personally think it's a good thing. But for you, it could be a bad, so don't take it if you don't feel it. But here, at one point, I was so depressed in my life that I lived for other people. Now, a lot of people will tell you that this is not good. And I think for the majority, it's not. It's not good. But if you can get to a point where you can live for other people, to a certain stage where you can build yourself out the deep gutters, and you can build yourself up to a point where you can start living for yourself, I think it's a very good thing. It's kind of like a lifeline. You've kind of attached yourself into someone else, and you're trying to climb up that rope to try and make their life better, to try and make them happy. And then you get up the top of the boat with them, and you go, you know what? I'm going to start living for myself. Now, you might be at a point right now where you're so depressed that you might need to live for someone else. And hopefully, that person, whoever it is, someone you love, you might not be able to build enough, you might not see yourself living. You might not see a point for you. But that you can live for someone else until you can see your worth. Until you can really go, okay. And for me, this advice is for someone that's so down, they don't even see the worth of fighting for themselves. If you're that low, I would tell you right now that you are worth it. People do love you, and you need to try. And I've heard that a million times, and sometimes it's very hard to do that for myself. But there's been times in my life where I'm so down where I just fight, and I fight for other people, and I get to that point where I feel like I'm at a bit more of a better stage where I can go, okay, cool, I can start living for myself. I'm a bit more mentally put together, and I can start seeing my own worth. I can start seeing what I bring to the table. I can start seeing these things. So again, that is probably a very controversial take, and I think most people would say it's a bad thing. But if you feel like it'll work for you, take it, man. Take it. You just need to realize at one point you're going to need to start living for yourself, otherwise you'll never truly feel fulfilled. But just to get yourself out that gutter, don't do it forever. If you do that forever, you'll feel worse than you did before. You're thinking, you get to a point and you think, why am I even doing this? Why am I here? It's just to get yourself out that gutter. Just to get you a little boost. It's a lot easier to do things for others that you love than for yourself when you're depressed. That's how I feel, personally. If you feel that, good. Try and use it. If it doesn't work for you and you still feel like crap and you don't ever feel yourself turning around, maybe it's not. Well, I really hope it does help you. Anyway, to go over the 3 things. Always be prepared, never worried. If something is worrying you, focus on it. And remember that your mind, no one can touch this, man. You can get punched in the head, you can get shot, but no one can defeat what's up here. Only you. Only you can allow it to. And it's baby steps, man. It's baby steps. Sometimes we like to look around and look at all the amazing things everyone else is doing and things like that, and we go, why are we not there? Well, unfortunately, man, we all didn't have equal lives, and that's okay. But we also need to understand that if we want to get to anywhere in this life, we need baby steps. And that person that's doing whatever they're doing baby steps as well. It's just, they might have got a little bit lucky with this or a little bit lucky with that. Baby steps. Baby steps. Yeah, that's everything today, guys. It's been a long one. It's been 20 minutes. Wow. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.